Hi everyone, good evening. Okay, today we are going to learn on chapter 3, Transportation. Okay, now we look at for learning objectives. So first, what is the transport system in organisms? Second, what are the components, constituents and blood groups of humans? And the last one, of course, want to know what are the factors affect the rate of transpiration in plants? Okay, why all of us, all the organisms need transport system? Every cell needs oxygen for cell respiration and nutrients to obtain energy. At the same time, carbon dioxide and other waste products produced by cells need to be eliminated to the external environment. The process of carrying oxygen, nutrients, and other useful substances from the external environment into the cells is through diffusion. The process of eliminating waste products from the cells is also through diffusion. So please students, remember the word diffusion is the process of carrying oxygen and also eliminating waste. Okay, let's look at transport system in simple organisms. Simple organisms such as unicellular organisms do not have a specialized transport system. Substances needed by cells such as oxygen and nutrients enter directly into cells via diffusion through the cell membrane. Waste products such as carbon dioxide are also eliminated from cells to the external environment via diffusion through the cell membrane. Again, students, please remember the word diffusion for any process of eliminating or gaining oxygen. The examples of simple organisms are amoeba, euglena, and paramecium. Now, we look at the transport system in complex organisms. Complex organisms such as humans, vertebrates, and multicellular plants have a specialized transport system. We, human, have heart and blood vessel. For plants, they have phloem, xylem, and stoma. The process of exchange of substances needed by cells and waste products between complex organisms and the external environment via diffusion occurs slowly and not comprehensively because complex organisms have a large volume. Therefore, complex organisms need to have a specialized transport system. Through this specialized transport system, oxygen and nutrients can be carried to all the body cells in complex organisms and waste products can be eliminated from all the body cells to the external environment. Okay, why it is so important for us to have transport system? First, transport system carries substances needed by cells such as oxygen and nutrients that are used to produce energy through cellular respiration. This energy is used for living processes in organisms. Second, transport system carries substances needed by plant cells such as mineral salts, water, and products of photosynthesis to carry out all living processes in plants. Lastly, transport system eliminates toxic waste products from the cells in organisms to the external environment. Toxic waste products that fail to be eliminated from the cells will poison and kill the organism concerned. Okay, now we look into blood circulatory system in vertebrates. Humans and all vertebrates such as mammals, reptiles, amphibians, birds, and fish, complex organisms, have a specialized transport system, that is the blood circulatory system. In the blood circulatory system of all vertebrates, blood flows continuously in blood vessels to all parts of the body in one complete cycle through the heart. However, there are significant differences in the blood circulatory system among mammals, reptiles, amphibians, birds, and fish. Okay, students, for our syllabus, we only look seriously in humans. The human blood circulatory system involves the circulatory of blood which is pumped from an organ known as the heart to all parts of the body and specialized blood vessels, namely arteries, capillaries, and veins. Okay, so you must remember these four chambers for your heart. The human heart have four chambers, that is two atria and two ventricles. Okay, if we cross section the heart, okay, this is number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. The top here, we call it atria, right atrium. Then here, left atrium. Okay. Okay, actually it's the top. Start with right here. Okay. So this one we call the top one, top of the heart. Okay. The lower one, the bottom one, we call it ventricles. Here is your right ventricle. Here is your left ventricle. So there are few functions for right atrium. The characteristic of right atrium has thin muscular wall. Then the deoxygenated blood from the whole body except the lungs enters the right atrium through the superior and inferior vena cava. When the right atrium contracts, deoxygenated blood is forced to flow into the chamber below it, namely the right ventricle. Okay, class, don't worry, you feel that this is very complicated, but the most important thing is you must know how to label for every structure of the heart. You must memorize the name. Okay, and then the most important thing is you must know the blue color one is the deoxygenated blood, means on your right side, but for your left side is oxygenated blood. That's all. For right ventricle has thick muscular wall. When the right ventricle contracts, the oxygenated blood is forced to flow out into the pulmonary artery to be carried to the lungs. Okay, so for the wall, okay, here, if you look for the wall, the upper part is thinner than the lower part. But if you compare from the right ventricle and the left ventricle, the left one is thicker than the right one. Okay. Okay, now we will look at to valve. There are certain parts that you can see here. It's like a tube here. This is called tricuspid valve. Tricuspid valve allows the flow of blood in only one direction, from the right atrium to the right ventricle. Okay, from the right atrium to the right ventricle. This is for tricuspid valve. For bicuspid valve, okay, it allows the flow of blood only one direction, from left atrium to left ventricle. Okay, this all the function for every parts of the heart. Semilunar valves. Semilunar valves at the pulmonary artery and aorta ensure that blood flows only one direction and not back into the ventricles. Left atrium has thin muscular wall. Oxygenated blood from the lungs enter the left atrium through the pulmonary vein. When the left atrium contracts, oxygenated blood is forced to flow into the chamber below it, namely the left ventricle. Bicuspid valve allows the flow of blood in only one direction from the left atrium into the left ventricle. Okay, if you can see here, the muscular wall for left ventricle is thicker than right ventricle. Okay, actually why? When left ventricle contracts, oxygenated blood is forced to flow out in the aorta to be carried to all parts of the body except the lungs. When the oxygenated blood is forced to flow out into the aorta to be carried to all parts of the body, it produces high pressure here. So the wall must be thicker than the other walls to support the pressure. And the last one, if you can see here, there are muscular walls that separate between right ventricle and left ventricle. So this is called septum. So the function is to prevent oxygenated blood from mixing with the deoxygenated blood. Okay, now we focus on the main blood vessels that are artery, vein, and blood capillary. So from the heart, it carries oxygenated blood. Then from here in the blood capillary, they change. There are gases exchange here from oxygenated blood, change into deoxygenated blood, and then send back to the heart. Heart, artery, blood capillary, vein, heart, and so on. Okay, now we will look into structure and functions of main blood vessels that are vein, capillary, and artery. The most important thing is you must know the lumen. Okay, this one is smaller, smallest, and larger. Lumen, large, smallest lumen, small lumen. Okay. Valves, only vein has valves, but capillary no valves. Artery also no valves. Okay, and then of course, when you know the size of lumen, smaller lumen have thicker muscular wall. Larger lumen have thin, less muscular, and less elastic wall. Of course, the smallest lumen got the thinnest wall, which is one cell thick. Okay. What are the functions of the vein, capillary, and artery? Vein transport deoxygenated blood, while capillary allow the exchange of gases, food, and waste products. And artery transports oxygenated blood from the heart to the whole of the body. Okay, why we call double blood circulatory system for human here? Because we have two systems here, that is pulmonary circulatory system and systemic circulatory system. Okay, so you must remember the pathway from lungs, pulmonary vein, heart, pulmonary artery for pulmonary, but for systemic, all parts of the body except the lungs go to vein, heart, and artery. Next, you must know what is diastole and systole, because you can hear your heart sound dub-lub, dub-lub, dub-lub. Actually, this is the dub sound and lub sound. Actually, what is the meaning of dub, diastole? This means where your heart is the having the closure of the semilunar valve at the aorta and pulmonary artery relax. Okay, but the lub sound is produced by the closure of the tricuspid and bicuspid valve between the atria and the ventricles when contractions of the ventricle occur. Okay, so simple word here, diastole produce dub sound when relaxed. Systole produce loud sound because of the contraction. Okay, do you ever see these tools? This is called sphygmomanometer. Sphygmomanometer. So, blood pressure is usually measured using these tools. The systolic pressure reading of a youth is normally 120 mmHg and the diastolic pressure reading is 75 mmHg. So the normal blood pressure for youth 120/75 mmHg. Now we look at on pulse rate. Pulse is produced by the contraction and relaxation of the muscular artery wall. There are four factors which is influence the pulse rate. There is physical activity, gender, age, and body health. Okay, now let's look into the experiment wajib. Means you are compulsory to do this at home during this MCO. So, what are the factors which influence the pulse rate? So, this one is focused on physical activity. Okay, please finish this work in your workbook and then write back in a test paper or test pad as a lab report. So, you must write down a lab report and must submit maybe in next week. Next week you must submit. Okay, I will update the date, the exact date in your Google Classroom. Okay, so you must record your number of pulse per minute when you are walking or running. Okay, okay, so please complete this task. Next, factors which influence the pulse rate for gender. Okay, the average pulse rate of an adult male is between 70 to 72 beats per minute, and the average pulse rate of an adult female is between 78 to 82 beats per minute. This means that there are differences between males and females based on the size of the heart. Okay, the heart of the females, which is normally smaller size, pump less blood for each heartbeat than the males. Okay, the next factors are the age. So the age, of course, the older you are, so the slower the pulse rate produced. So 20 years old, 200 pulse per minute, but when you are 70 years old, it decreases until 150 pulse rate per minute. And of course, when your body health is not regular in your healthy, so it maybe have different pulse rate. Normally higher or lower than the normal pulse rate depends on your diseases. Okay, so a pulse rate that is too high or too low is dangerous and can be life-threatening. So you can die, huh? Okay, so what are the importance of maintaining of a healthy heart? So you must know that heart pumps blood which transport nutrients, substances that needed for our body. And then of course body cells use oxygen and glucose and then release carbon dioxide. So it maintains the healthy cells. So how we want to make sure our heart always healthy? So we must reduce intake of salt, sugar, fats, okay, eat vegetable, fruit, cereals, and high fiber food, okay, lead a stress-free life, and so on. Okay, next, blood components. Okay, so blood is a type of mixture because it can be separated into two components. Okay, actually you have yellow liquid and red liquid. Okay, we use the method that we call centrifugal method here. Okay, this is the appearance of your common blood. Then after centrifugation, so you got these two types of liquid. One's yellow and one is red. So this is the component that contains in your blood. That is blood plasma, white blood cells and platelets, and of course red blood cells. Okay, the most important thing is you must know the blood groups. There are A, B, AB, and O. Okay, the type of antigen present on red blood cells is A antigen or B antigen. So there are two types only antigen. So if blood group A, it has only A antigen. For blood group B, it has only the B antigen. AB, A and B antigen. Blood group O do not have any A or B antigens. None of A or B antigens. Okay, so this is antibodies in blood plasma. Okay, there are anti-A and anti-B antibodies. So if the type A blood, type of antigens is A, antibodies is anti-B. Antigens is B, anti-A. Okay, so we must memorize this. Okay, the type of antigens and the types of antibodies. If the antibody attack its corresponding antigen, it will cause the coagulation of blood to occur, means mixing of blood to occur, mixing with the different, they are not compatible to each other. So it will cause death. Okay. This one is about the diagram to show that the relationship between blood group of donor and blood group of recipient. If they are not compatible, it will causes death. Okay. If you have A and A is no problem, B and B no problem, AB and AB no problem, O and O no problem. But if let's say you have blood O blood groups, but you don't have any choice, you don't have O person, okay, so you cannot receive another blood. You only can donate to another person. But if you want to receive someone to donate to you the blood, so you must receive from O only. Okay. But AB is a universal recipient. They can receive all types of blood, but once they need to donate the blood, they only can donate to O only. Okay. The other blood they cannot donate. Okay. Okay, next the transpiration. The transpiration is a process of water loss in the form of water vapor from the surface of leaves to the air through evaporation. Leaves are part of a plant where most water loss occurs through transpiration. Okay, if we recall back the lessons of the heart, so the heart, the main objective of heart is pumping the oxygenated blood to all the body, right? And then the body change back, the body cells change into the deoxygenated blood and send back to the heart. But for plants, the water from roots, okay, absorption of water through osmosis into the plant via roots, so they go upwards. Actually, the destination is to the environment. Okay, what causes this movement? Because of the sun. Okay, sun that caused the evaporation. Okay, so sunlight here. Okay, the sun acts like a heart. They pump. So they pump water. It pumps water. So it will cause evaporation through leaves. Okay, so this is the transpiration process. The pathway of water moving upwards in the plants, and then loss of water through evaporation through leaves via transpiration. Okay, there are 4 factors that affecting transpiration: temperature, light intensity, air humidity, and movement of air. Okay, so between these 4 factors, okay, you can choose either one, okay, to make your own experiment at home during this MCO. So you have enough time to observe your plants. So you can choose either you want light intensity or air humidity, temperature, and air movement. Okay. Okay, and again, please write down a lab report in your test pad and then submit together with the pulse rate experiment just now. So you have 2 lab reports to be done. Okay, so the structure that is very important in the transpiration process, you must know the phloem and xylem. Okay, how to memorize this? Okay, the main transport in the plants is water, right? So xylem, you must remember the xylem transport water. So xylem water, so it it's located in the middle of the plants. Okay, but phloem transport sucrose. Sucrose means food. Okay, means water and food. So xylem water, phloem food. Okay, so food surround the water, surrounding the xylem. Phloem is surrounding the xylem. Okay. Okay, now please look at your workbook, practice PD3, page 87. So number 1, which of the following has specific transport? Of course, fish, because fish is complex organism. A, C, and D is the unicellular organism, simple organism. Okay, next. What is the method used by simple organism to eliminate excretory products from the body cells? Diffusion, B. Okay, number 3. The diagram below shows the blood circulatory system in humans. Okay, which of the following statement is true about oxygenated and deoxygenated blood? So please class, remember the situation of where is the oxygenated blood. Okay, please remember on your right side is oxygenated blood. On your left side is deoxygenated blood. Okay, this one oxygen. Okay, please remember for your left and right side. Okay, deoxy. Okay, this is your left side. Okay, so you must follow your own body. Means, okay, let's say you have your left hand. You cannot say that here is your right side. This is your left side. Okay, if you imagine your body now, you put your hand to your heart. So this is your left heart, left side of the heart. Then this one is your right side of the heart. Okay, so left side oxygen, right side deoxygenated blood. Okay, so B is true. Oxygenated blood flows from the lungs to the heart. Okay, lungs to the heart and to all parts of the body. Yes, lungs to the heart, to the parts of the body. Okay, oxygenated blood. Okay, so true. Okay, number 4. The diagram below shows the structure of the human heart, which has 4 chambers. Okay, so again, when you have this type of question, you just draw directly. So it will make you confirm your answer. It will not make you confused. Okay, when you see a valve here, so you cross section it, you cross the drawing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So the top one we call atrium or atria. The bottom one we call ventricle. So this is your left side. This is your right side. So it produces highest pressure. Highest pressure means the thickest one. Okay, so this is the thickest one, thickest muscular wall. So 4 is left ventricle. Okay, this is the answer. Okay, which donor and its recipient lead to agglutination? So agglutination, same the word with the word coagulation just now. Okay. Co. Okay. Coagulation. Coagulation. The meaning. So means you must respond to the words donor. So AB only donate to AB only, not to A, not to B. This one is different. A comma B means AB can donate to A and B. So wrong. AB can donate to AB only. Okay. Same to O. O can donate to all but only receive O only. Okay. AB only. Okay, number 6. What is the similarity between the circulatory system in animals and the transport system in plants? Okay, the direction of the substance movement is one way. Okay, true. Okay, next. Bahagian B, section B. Okay, underline the correct answers on the circulatory systems in animals. Okay, the frog has a single or double blood circulatory system. Okay, double. The fish has a single blood circulatory system and has one atrium and one ventricle. Okay. Again, you must know how to label the parts of the heart. So this one is vena cava and this one is pulmonary vein. Okay, next. Section C. A student observed the condition of plant is different in the morning compared in the afternoon. Okay, so this is experiment part. So we must know the keyword here. Okay, number 1, based on the observation. So observation means what do you see? What can you observe? What can you see from the experiment? So the answer must be the plant is fresher in the morning. So you must write your answer directly based on what can you see. Fresher in the morning and wilt in the afternoon. Wilt means layu. Less water than the morning one. So in the afternoon. So you must do the afternoon. Then you got 2 marks. Okay, number 2, state the inference that can be made based on 2A. Inference means reason. Why? Why? You say like that. You said that the plant is fresher in the morning and wet in the afternoon. So the plant wilts because it loses water through transpiration. Please remember you must state the word transpiration. Okay, without this word transpiration, you will lose your marks. Okay, name the process above. The process is transpiration. Okay, I think that's all class for today's lesson. So I hope you can understand. If you have any problem, you can WhatsApp me or you can call me anytime. And then remember your homework. There are 2 homeworks. Okay, the first one, the lab reports on the effect of the pulse rate for your physical activity, and the last one is the lab reports on transpiration based on the light intensity. Okay, you can choose between these 4 factors. Maybe you choose light intensity. Okay, or also you can choose air movement, temperature, or air humidity. So you can choose one only for transpiration. Okay, that's all class. Thank you.